Old Autos Television is brought to you in part by the RM Classic Car Exhibit in the heart of Canada's classic car capital, Chatham, Kent, Ontario. Cruise through one of North America's finest automobile collections. Guided tours available. Call 1-877-523-2684 or visit cktourism.com for details.
Land Insurance, offering low rates on specialty and antique automobile insurance through the Silver Wheel Plan. Call 1-800-461-4099 Canada-wide or visit www.silverwheel.ca for a free quote.
Time to head to Essex, Ontario now, to the Canadian Transportation Museum. That's where the Charles Lindbergh Packer has just found a new home. This car is now being used to introduce young people to the history of the 1930s. It's a car with a link to a legend. On this day, the Lindbergh Packer is being taken to a new home at the Canadian Transportation Museum at Heritage Village near the town of Essex, Ontario.
1927, built in late 27. The model is a 443, and it's a 7-passenger touring.
The Packard was awarded to Charles Lindbergh in May of 1927 after he completed the world's first transatlantic flight from New York to Paris. Upon returning to New York, he was given a ticker tape parade and was then given the keys to the car.
You know, Charles Lindbergh, it's one of the world's most famous historical figures of the 20th century.
Mickey Mulder was instrumental in bringing the Lindbergh Packard to the Canadian Transportation Museum. And the restoration, are you impressed with that?
Amazing, just amazing. When I knew the car was going to be stunning, but when it showed up, it's like stunning squared, It's unbelievable, just superb.
Stan Ewer is the man who restored the car.
I restored the car 6 years ago. It was just around 2,000 hours. The total restoration from start to finish was about 2,000 hours. And it was quite a good car to start with. It's spent many years in the museum, so it was not a rusty car by no means, but it was great to bring it back to its original splendor.
This car is equipped with a 385 cubic inch straight 8 engine.
It was displayed at the museum in Niagara Falls, the Antique Auto Museum in Niagara Falls, throughout the late 60s and early 70s as the Lindbergh Packer, the car that was given to Charles Lindbergh by the then mayor of New York City, Jimmy Walker.
The Packard is part of a collection of cars owned by Wes Thompson of Blenheim, Ontario.
That's right. Wes Thompson Sr. in Blenheim has been active, very active in the antique car hobby for 40 years, and very generous and giving fellow. He's just a wonderful man.
Mulder hopes the Packard will help attract new visitors to the museum. So Mickey, what will this car do for the museum?
I think it will help put us on the map and keep us on the map. We're one of the better kept secrets here in Canada South and in Ontario. And we're doing a lot more advertising, and it's paying off. We're getting a lot of people coming in from not just Ontario, but other provinces. The border, as you know, in the U.S. has thickened up quite a bit in the last couple of years. But we advertise a lot in Michigan, and we do get groups over here. So I think it's just one of those, it's another flag for us, to bring people out.
Oh, it's hopeful that it attracts numerous people. It's a beautiful venue here anyway, and both the museum and the village. and it's hoped that more people will be attracted by virtue of the presence of this car.
A new link to aviation was recently forged when Stan took the car to Toronto, where it was used by film crews as a prop in the movie Amelia, about female aviator Amelia Earhart. The film stars Richard Gere. Stan was dressed as a chauffeur and was given a small role in the film.
They really didn't know about the Charles Lindbergh connection with this car, so they learned that when we got down to the movie shoot. But anyway, it was an amazingly exciting day. One day of shooting in downtown Toronto on Yonge Street, and it was decorated to look like New York City, of course. And Amelia Earhart is played by Hilary Swank, and Richard Gere and Virginia Madsen are the co-stars. And Virginia Madsen and Richard Gere both sat in the back seat of that car in one of the scenes that we did.
In an age where satellites and travel by space shuttle have become routine, the Lindbergh Packard's arrival at the museum was arranged in part to link today's youth with the early years of travel by plane and by car.
Yeah, I believe so. When you talk to some of the younger people, you know, you mention the name Charles Lindbergh, and sometimes they blink and they've heard the name, but who is this guy? And then you fill them in a little bit, and they say, oh yeah, I remember. So, you know, it really is going to help people, you know, bring back who was probably the most famous man on earth back in 1927. So with Lindbergh, you had 4.5 million people in New York at the parade, and they didn't have that number at celebrating the end of World War II, if you can believe that. So this guy was like the guy.
It's a beautiful venue here at the museum to display the car, and so opportunity for hundreds or no doubt thousands of people to see it that wouldn't normally see it. This is a ticker tape that you'll see in the parade.